Hi, I was a smart and buff boy. However, a judo accident left me physically challenged for the rest of my life. I was wheelchair ridden for more than 2 years. I would like to share how many physically challenged people like me face discrimination in Singapore. There are still not a sufficient amount of wheelchair-friendly buses in Singapore. After the accident, I was wheelchair-bound for more than 2 years. During this period of time, moving around Singapore was a struggle. I had to wait for long periods of time for wheelchair-friendly buses to arrive. This meant I often ended up being late for my appointments. Taking MRT was another struggle. Most MRTs has only two wheelchair-friendly parking lots per train. However, most of the time, these slots are used up. Sometimes other commuters will place their bulky items and block these slots. We all know how packed and crowded our MRTs are. Squeezing into an overcrowded MRT in Singapore isn't that easy too. The fact that a wheelchair occupies more space in the MRTs was not well received by other communities who had to squeeze. The most frequent problem I faced in transportation was to cross roads. The entrance and exit to so many of the overhead bridges in Singapore consisted of a huge flight of stairs. I remember once I had to cross the overhead bridge. At that time, my dad had to carry the wheelchair up the overhead bridge, and there was no ramp or any pedestrian crossing in sight. It was a real struggle for my dad back then. Recently, the government has started to build ramps which enable an easy access for those who are on wheelchairs. However, these are a rare sight in Singapore. There are provisions for the elderly to tap their cards, which grant extra time to cross the road. However, no such facilities is available for the disabled. All in the name of design, designers tend to make tables so much more not friendly to wheelchair users. Not all tables are wide enough or tall enough for wheelchair users to roll and sit under the table. Sometimes, the chairs are fixed on the ground. This gives me no access to the table. There have been so many times where my friends needed to go find alternative places to eat just because I was not able to get a table. In the initial stages of the accident, there were times my friends made fun of me of the way I look. I just look different. People look at me in a different way. I often felt rejected when they did this to me. I was not able to participate in many of my favorite sports. It was sad being left out whenever my friends were playing sports, when all I could do was watch. The biggest discrimination we face being disabled is the difference in attitude in how people treat us before and after the accident. After the accident, people show me more compassion and kindness. It is good to be on the receiving end, but it causes me to think where this sudden kindness and compassion was hidden before the accident. Are they just pitying me? My head was full of negative thoughts. I had a negative outlook on life. Some may say it's depression, but I was facing the darkest moment of my life. It caused me to think, what caused me this discrimination? The reason is pretty simple actually. I do not portray an image of a successful person. In the minds of people, a successful man who have a healthy and well-structured body. How many people will look at a physically disabled person and say, he is going to be successful? Everyone wants to be friends with a successful person. No one will bother to befriend us, the physically disabled, as we are just losers in their sight. I was able to put away all these negative thoughts and focus on the positive. I started to volunteer myself with organizations that reach out to the youth, the disabled, the elderly and the lonely. I wanted my story to give them hope.
My ability is stronger than my disability. Will you look over my disability to strengthen my abilities? The choice is yours. Make a difference.